Hello and welcome back to Mimi's Corner. Thank you for always tuning in to listen. Today's political drama is about Senator Natasha, the senator representing Kogi Central. Her suspension period in the Senate has officially come to an end. And normally this should mean that she walks right back into the red chamber, takes her seat and continues her work. But no, that is not the case. The Senate has now declared that Natasha cannot resume her seat even though her suspension is over. The reason? They say her matter is still in court. Natasha was suspended from the Senate a while ago after some heated controversy surrounding her election and activities. The suspension was meant to be temporary, a sort of punishment that will last for a specific period. She has served that time and that punishment is over. In the minds of many Nigeria and especially the people of Kogi Central, this should be the end of the story. Suspension served, case closed. Their senator should return to represent them. But the Senate leadership has taken a different position. They insist that as long as there is still a pending case in the courts concerning her election, Natasha cannot simply resume. According to them, it would be risky, even disrespectful to the judiciary, to allow her back while her legitimacy is still being challenged legally. Which legitimacy? This is just pure abuse of power. And I think it's just Akpabio doing all of this. Because of what? It is not legitimate for her to resume. Can you imagine? This decision has stirred up plenty of reactions. For Natasha's supporters, it feels like double punishment. They are asking, why keep her out when her suspension is over? Isn't the punishment meant to be temporary? If she has already served her time, why are you extending it? And we know how the judiciary is. We know how this court matter is going to be. It's going to stretch for so long. So when is she supposed to resume and represent the people that she's supposed to be representing? These supporters argue that the people of Kogi Central are being denied their rightful representation. Exactly. They sent Natasha to the Senate to speak on their behalf, but she's not there to do that. She's there to raise their issues and to push for development in their constituency. Yet, while other senators are sitting, debating and making decisions, the seat for Kogi Central remains empty. On the other side, the Senate leadership says this is not about punishment anymore. To them, it is about law, order, and process. They claim it would be improper to fully reinstate Natasha when there is still a legal cloud hanging over her status. The status that people did not deny her since, but when she had issue with Akpabio, we started saying, and they have to do check the legal status of her being a senator. Really? Their argument is simple. Let the court decide first. When is the court going to decide? That's another problem because we know how courts are in this country. Once the judiciary gives a final ruling, we will know whether she truly belongs there. Really. Now here's the deeper issue. Cases like this reveal the cracks in Nigeria's political system. How often do we see elections go smoothly without ending up in court? Almost every election season, we hear of cases being dragged from one tribunal to another, from appeal court to Supreme Court, and while the lawyers argue and the judges deliberate, the people, the voters, are left hanging, not sure who truly represents them. In Natasha's case, it is even more complicated. She has already endured the suspension. She has already been sworn in once before, and now, instead of returning to her duties, she is forced to wait again. This waiting game is not just about her, it's about thousands of constituents in Kogi Central who are asking, where is our voice in the Senate? Who is fighting for us in Abuja, while our senator is locked out? For Natasha personally, it must feel like a political limbo. Imagine fighting to win an election, going through the stress of a suspension, counting down the days until you can finally return, only to be told, wait again. Your seat is still on hold. So what happens next? The answer lies in the judiciary. Until the court makes their final ruling, we don't know when that will be. Natasha's situation will remain uncertain. If the court rules in her favor, then she will return to her seat with full authority and ready to continue representing her people. But if the court rules otherwise, then everything changes. That is why the Senate says it is safer to wait. They do not want to take chances. Which are your chances? And they do not want to appear as though they are undermining the court processes. I beg you. You don't want to undermine the court processes. A lot of undermining that you people are always doing. But let's be honest, while the Senate is playing safe, the people of Kogi Central are the ones paying the price. Their voice in the Senate is silent. Their concerns may not be fully represented, and time, as we know, is ticking. So Natasha's suspension may have officially ended, but her political journey is still on hold. The Senate says no resumption until the court decides. Her supporters says this is unfair. She has served her time. And the rest of Nigeria, we are just watching to see how this drama will finally unfold. For now, the seat of Kogi Central remains empty, waiting just like everyone else for the court's final word. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Bye.